All right, cradle's all painted. Everything looks good. Everything's bolted back up. Ready to rock and roll there. Now, I'm gonna come back here. I want to put a bar from saddle to saddle in the rear cradle. I want to triangulate it down. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, thanks for clicking on our videos. If we could ask you to do one thing though, if you can click that button down in the corner, subscribe to the channel, like, ring that bell so you know when new stuff comes out, share with all your friends, start this new year off right, and keep these videos coming for you guys. Remember, it's free all month long, it doesn't cost you a thing to subscribe. Thanks for watching, we'll get back to the video. Alright, we got the cradle drop down. Need to do a little more clearancing up in here for the steering shaft. A couple spots for touching, and down here in the cradle in this aluminum got a couple spots rubbing there. We'll get those cleaned up, then we'll get this cradle pushed back up in here, get everything bolted back up, and then we'll make our alignment cups. We'll get those guys welded on there, and hopefully this front end will go back together for its last time, and we'll be that much closer to driving. Okay, got everything notched back, bent back, got my clearance I believe we need in there. So now I need to go through, weld everything back up, smooth everything off, and we can put this thing back together. Alright, got the frame rail notch all cleaned back up in the bottom there, or welded up. So now we'll get it cleaned up, and we should be ready to put this back together and start working on our cups. Alright, got everything cleaned up inside there. Hopefully should have adequate clearance on everything now. Get this cradle pushed up and start making our cups. Okay, cradle's back up in, bolts are in it. We got our clearance over here, but now we got to build some cups. So we got registers here. That way this cradle, if you ever hit a big bump, anything like that, there's just no way this thing can slide around. So to do that, sliced off a couple rings of 1 5/8 here. I'm gonna split those. We'll slide those up around there, and this thing will be locked down. Okay, first one's done. Looks like it's gonna do the trick just perfect. Move over to this side and we'll get the next one. All right, we got the next cup done. So, don't think this cradle will move around anymore. Got nice locked up. We'll move on to the next thing here. Okay, sitting here getting some stuff masked off. Gonna finish taping everything around here so we can get these frame rail stubs and this cross member painted up here. That way everything's nice and clean when it all goes back together, and we're gonna call this a wrap on this part. All right, cradle's all painted. Everything looks good. Everything's bolted back up. Ready to rock and roll there. Now, I'm gonna come back here. I want to put a bar from saddle to saddle in the rear cradle. I want to triangulate it down, tie it into the rails down here on both sides. And then from saddle here to our rear cross member bar, I want to try to triangulate from here into the back of the saddle, here into the back of the saddle. Just kind of pretty much tie the back of the car together here, get rid of some of our flex, and hopefully we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Street car. This is Iron Resurrection.
Hey, babe.
Saturday.
So we got a call from Butch and Molly.
Well, 65 Riviera, I just think the car's timeless look is way ahead of its time when it came out with that design. And it's just a very distinctive car. I want to get big wheels underneath it. The stance looking really killer. And really, you don't need to customize them that much. That's the beauty of these cars, is they just, the lines are so perfect on them. You just get stance so nice. You get color combos nice. You know, get some power. But regardless, 65 is kind of hard to come by. Second, you'll have the work cut out for them. Pressure's definitely on, so. Look at this two-tone.
Man, love it.
Rust and turquoise. So we're back in Art's place.
And up here,
Let's see if we can peel that off. We're looking for a 63, 64, 4 65 though.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna come down like this, make us a nice bend, end in the rails here. So need us a couple little 40-inch pieces here. Okay, so got our two bars. Come over here. Slide these guys up in the bender. Since we don't have a lot of excess, just gonna bring it right out tight, like that. power here. Zero us up, we got all the slack out, about a 1/4 inch hang. There's our 90 degree. A couple of degrees past for spring back. And just like that, we've got our bars. Gonna be a nice little tie in here. It's gonna strengthen this inner rail up into the cradle. So, one bent. Let's come over here. We'll do the same thing with this one. Alright, now we need to go in, we'll cope this end, we'll clean up the frame rail over here, and we'll get these welded in. Alright, I'll get the tubing notcher set up, and clamp it in the side of the table here. It's just a cheap little Harbor Freight tubing notcher. Definitely not great by any stretch, but it will get the job done. It beats using a grinder and trying to do all your notches that way. We've got 1.5 inch hole saw that's not dead. Okay, those gonna set up like that. Gonna take 2 inches off each of these bars. And then we'll set them up and notch them. Okay. So, roughly 3/8 of an inch is what you got to go in for the coat. I'm going to put this guy mark right there at our 3/8. So I'm going to do both of them right now while we're here. That way we know to go in there. Alright, so that's our 0 off of our notch. There's our 3/8 in. Just about 0 on our bar, so we know we're level there. Like I said, Harbor Freight tube notcher, definitely not the best by far, but way faster than if we would have just done that with a grinder. Now we have a nice coat. That'll weld up nice. Got a nice spot we can clean up on the frame rail here. Take a peek at this side, make sure it fits up the way they like it too. Alright, we'll notch our other one. Nasty, stinky rust. It's got a pretty nice look to it. Okay. Squaring magnet up there. Just a little more cleaned up here. Okay. Got that one lining up nice now too. All right, got both those bars tacked in. Some nice lines going up to support the cradle. Now we'll see about making us a couple of rear bars to the cross members. Okay, so now we're looking to go from here to the new crossbar. Ideally, have a nice clear path, but like most everything, that's not going to happen. So all it looks like what I have to do is make a bar with some arch in the end that we can tie into here, so we can also hit it back there. Looks like we're going to need something about the 23-24 inch range. So we got enough room to make our bends and do some notches. Alright, when digging through all the racks, found a couple more little drop pieces that'll actually get the job done for what we need back there. So gonna chop this end off, make it nice and squared up, and go ahead and cope these two ends before we put the radius on it. That way we're in the nice tight where we need it, and we don't have to try to get into a really tight bend here to make that notch.